Okay, I am really excited about today's unboxing. It is my very first Athearn. Never had an Athearn before, but here it is. And I gotta say, the box is huge. You can already tell. I don't think I've had another model train box be anywhere near this big until I picked it up and I realized that this was underneath it. And this monstrosity of a box even beat that. Why this is so big, I have no idea. We're gonna unbox this in a whole nother video because this is just gonna be way too long to do both. So just wanted to kind of show that as a teaser and show you how much bigger that box is compared to the already massive Athearn box that's underneath it. Anyway, I'm just gonna lift this sucker up and we're gonna reveal it all together because I have not looked at this at all for what we have to see. Okay, the book's upside down. This is supposed to be brand new. I bought it from a hobby shop. It is an actual book. Look at this. There's the real deal. It tells you a story about it and everything. That's cool. Rarely do you see that. There's some more breakouts. All the parts involved. Wheel cleaning. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, standard stuff. But let's see what the actual train looks like. That's why we're all here. Ooh. Like I said, this is brand new. It's not the fancy version by any stretch, but I don't need any of that fancy stuff. I have a couple Broadway limited ones, and I find like the sound to be very, very annoying. There's no way to like turn it off. I thought with these Athearn ones, if you got the sound, which I didn't, you'd have like a remote, I think, that comes with it. This one's DCC ready, so I don't think DCC is even installed. But again, I don't have DCC, so why am I paying for something I don't have or would ever use? Now, how do I even open this? It looks like it slides out on me. Yes. Let's get rid of some of this plastique. There's a lot of it. Ooh, look at that. That is cool. All right. This is really neat. So again, Union Pacific, I could have gone with the Rio Grande version, but I didn't really like that. I mean, the Rio Grandes to me just don't look right on a steam train for whatever reason. Their logo is too kind of like blah to me. So I always like seeing the Union Pacific. That's really nice. It's a different back from the Big Boy. In fact, we can probably even compare this at some point too. From the Kato Big Boy I have, but this one's a 4664, yeah. Whereas the Big Boy is a 4884. Slightly longer, another couple wheels down up in here. But yeah, this is really cool. They had a couple versions of this that you could get. Like I said, one of them was the Rio Grande back. Others didn't have these smoke deflectors. But I kind of went with the one that did have the smoke deflectors because the ones that didn't look just like kind of how I keep my Big Boy and the other FEF 844. So to change it up and to make it look a little bit different, I went with the ones that did have the smoke deflectors, which is kind of weird for me because normally I don't particularly like the smoke deflectors, but you know, here we go. Very well, finely detailed as you can see. I'm loving this. This is great. This is all plastic up here. I thought it was going to be a die-cast, full die-cast shell, but apparently not. We try to flip it out without wrecking it. All right. Got some nice solid weight to it. That's some real nice feel. It looks great too, for sure. Try to get it down here so we can take a look. I don't know what this is. This is kind of weird. I have to read the book or something. I'm not sure what that would be for. And I don't see any other extra bits. I would have thought it would have come with something, but there was nothing in here. And it's like fell out or someone took it out. I noticed it wasn't like wrapped in plastic. I thought if it was brand new, it would have come wrapped, but maybe not. Maybe this is just how they come. It's packaged up look professional and from the factory, but anyway, I did not set out to buy this. This was kind of a thing I just happened to see on the site. Like I said, from a dealer. These things retail for $400. This model, which is the, where's the box? There, where is it? It's somewhere. Here, this side. That's the one, ATH25543. Smoke deflector version. Anyway, like I said, they retail for $400, but I was able to snag this under a sale for $180, all in with free shipping. So that's cheaper than my 844 when I first bought it in 2016, which is an incredible deal that I just couldn't pass up. So, you know, I just felt like, okay, I gotta pull the trigger on this one. It's too cool to not get for that price. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. Like I said, it looks great. Let me get some other engines here and we can do a little comparison. All right, busted out a couple engines to compare. The new one we just got, Athearn, in the middle here, as well as the Kato Big Boy and that terribly awful Broadway Limited T1 that I pretty much got shamboozled on. This one, Challenger, is about the same size as the T1. T1 itself actually is a 4444. Never realized that before. Unless this is considered 8, I don't know. But it looks fantastic. The T1 does. I mean, it really does. They knocked it out of the park. The casing, this part in the back is all plastic, but it still looks great. However, the operation is just atrocious, and I don't even want this thing anymore. I do want to sell it because it's just not helpful at all. It's loud. I can't turn off the noise. It just starts and stops randomly all the time. It's unoperable. And I think it's because I have a DC circuit, not a DCC, which this thing has integrated, but it clearly says it's supposed to work for both. Anyway, rant aside, you can easily compare the two and see how they stack up. And then up here we got the Kato Big Boy. Decently longer. I mean, this thing is a tiny compared, of course, to it. But you know, you can see the difference there of how they do look different. Like when I pulled out the Big Boy and the EFF or FEF 844, they pretty much look the exact same. You couldn't really tell the difference, especially when I took the smoke deflectors off of the 844, which I personally like better. No change. Everything was the exact same. And even these tenders between these two are supposed to, quote unquote, be the same. But I guess they are similar, but just kind of eyeballing it, at least in real life, they just look different. And I don't know why, because actually the more I stare at it, the more they seem to be the same. And they are the same in real life, right? Like the Challenger had the same tender as the Big Boy. It's all made by the same company, blah, blah, blah. Company-wise, that actually made the real engines, not these models, but whatever. But even like the parts on the engine itself look just like the Big Boy, only miniaturized or scaled down a little bit. This actually feels different. So I'm glad I got this. This is a really nice touch and a really nice add to the model. I've thought about still getting an Athearn Big Boy, and maybe sometime I will. But for right now, I'm gonna stick with these guys and start with this one, see how I like it, and then maybe get a Big Boy at some point if it works better than the experience I've had with Broadway Limited, which has been just awful. But yeah, this is really, really cool here. Let me see what else there is to see. I can see like a red wire or something up in there. I'm not sure if you're supposed to see that or that just, you know, there. Spinning it around because we haven't really and a peek on this side. It's probably a mirror image. Again, great detail throughout. It feels great. It looks great. I just hope it works great when you're actually running it around. Cross them fingers. Looks like it's got one big front light up here on the front. So I assume that will light up. Yeah. Looking cool, looking great. Who does not like a ginormous steam engine? I mean, come on. This is fantastic. And this box right here is like a childhood dream of mine to even hold this. This is nuts that I even have these, if you ask me. Anyway, yeah, Big Boy works great. No complaints there at the operation or the look. I feel like the materials are a little bit on the cheap side, but that's kind of expected with the Kato. They kind of go light material versus like big and heavy. This one's kind of in the middle. This one is like, it feels like it's made of metal, like the whole thing, even though it's not. I can tell like this top part's all plastic. But this thing it's almost like a hybrid between these two in terms of the quality of just feeling it. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but that's kind of the impressions that I get from just kind of holding it up and looking at it, you know, like this. Again, there's another little close-up. Really, really cool. I think it's a great find for $180. I mean, come on. Can you even find this for cheaper than that? I don't know if you ever could, even on the used market. That's a pretty darn good price. And again, it didn't come with all the bells and whistles, but I don't want all the bells and whistles. I don't want DCC. I don't want the sound. I just want to run my engines around and have it look good. So this satisfies that for sure, at least the first part. We'll see about the second part in operation, which I'm going to do here shortly. Since it is an Athearn, it comes with those knuckle couplers, which I got to figure out if I have anything that will run with it. I think it's the same coupler that's on this T1, so I have a couple of trains I could maybe use with that. I do have this passenger set that I think will work. We'll see. And I don't, the Kato couplers I don't think work well with this guy. I mean, it might, maybe, but I don't think so. So I'm gonna test this other set first and we'll get it on the track, run it around and see how it actually operates. Hopefully, if it operates 100 times better than this T1, that will be a win in my book. So let's see what happens here. All right, quickly before we get up on the track, I'm gonna do one thing and weigh these people in. Starting with Mr. Heavy himself, the T1. Looks like that comes in and clocks at 173 grams. So there's your baseline. Like I said, this thing weighs a ton. Let's see what the new guy weighs in at. The new Athearn. Wow, he actually weighs more, 184. Did not expect that. Just picking him up and feeling him, it felt like this thing's not that heavy, but there it is. And then the Kato Big Boy. Where does he fall in? I said before he feels very light. If I put him down on the paper, look at that, 153. Way lighter than the other two, even though he's the biggest by far visually. Interesting. Aha, yes. On the track, ready to roll. Or almost ready anyway. Today of all days was the day I could not find my re-railer, which was a pain to put all this stuff on. Let me tell you. I don't know where it is. I had it and it was gone. I couldn't find it at all, but I was able to squeak it on in the old-fashioned way, making sure every little wheel is exactly where it needed to be. So, train is on. I also put on the Big Boy over here just for good measure on the other loop, because why not? They're friends, right? They go together. Got the UP Excursion on the other side. Not the one I showed you at the beginning of the video. That's a different one that I haven't unboxed yet. This is my old one with lights. It's really, really cool. I run it around quite frequently. But this is the set I was talking about that I got last summer. It's a really cool, what is it, Baltimore and Ohio set. It's an older kind because it's got the Rapido connectors in between them all. But what was nice about this set is it rolls amazingly well for being an older one. It looks great, it feels great too. But this front one, I guess it's the baggage car, has pre-installed knuckle coupler on it, whereas the back has Rapido and connects with everything else. So this has become my converter car for the rare opportunities that actually have an engine with this microtrains coupler, I think it's called, or something like that. Anyway, I think these are compatible. I haven't tried it yet, but we're gonna find out right here, right now. So if I scooch this one up and do something like that, are they connected? I think so. Yeah, I think we're good. So cool, that worked. Now we just gotta pull it around, start her up. Let's have some fun. Let me back this up, get the camera situated, and let's roll. All right, well, we're both rolling now. This thing had a bit of a whine to it. You can tell it's speeding up a little too. I might need to adjust that dial. Well, it looks good. A lot louder than I had thought though. At least out of the gate here. Look at that. Amazing. Will it catch the big boy? That is very loud. First impressions. Here it comes by the darker village. We'll get a good view of that front headlight. Not very bright, I must say. In fact, when I look at the camera and look at what it's going on in real life, the camera makes it look a lot brighter than it actually is. Huh. Alright, we're about halfway up the dial right now. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit as we go across the bridge here. Apparently these Athearns are made to like roll slow. It's struggling a little though. You can hear it. It's like zha, 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 zha. The electric motor is making that, but I guess it's true to life, maybe? Yeah, definitely slowed it down. But it's still noisy, especially for that speed. I would have thought it would have been very quiet. Look how slow it's going. For as loud as it is. And look at the, I forget what they're called, the chuggers, where they're like, it like speeds up and slows down. I don't know if that's intentional, or that's what just happens to be going on here. Look around the corner. Yeah, look at that. Huh. Now compare that, oh, it even stopped. Compare that to the big boy. We're about the same speed, but look how smooth and quiet it is. You don't hear anything. Nothing. Just some very faint clickety-clacks of the wheels. That's how it should operate. That's what I'd expect. But this guy... It needs more power. Can't go without the power. Well, one lap in, I can already tell you it's better than that T1. No doubt about it. But the noise is a little bit of a killer. Like I said, I would have liked it for it to be a lot quieter. 'Cause, 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 'cause But the quality's there. Like, you can tell the build quality is definitely there. And like I said, it looks good in motion and everything. I just wish it was a little bit more smoother and quieter at these slower speeds. Unless I got a wheel off somewhere, but did it go through a... Yeah, it would have gone through a re-railer already. So if it was off, it would have clicked back in. It just feels like it's struggling. Very interesting. Yeah, honestly, I thought these would have been a lot more smoother and a lot quieter, kind of like the operation of the Kato. So maybe I'm glad I got the Kato Big Boy instead of the Athearn Big Boy. Like I said, that was my plan for the longest time. Then Kato announced theirs, and I'm like, I think I'll do that one. But look at this shot. I mean, the shot is great, right? You can't dock the shot. It looks really cool. It's just also fairly loud. So which one do you like better? The new Challenger there or the Kato Big Boy? I think you know where I'm leaning at this point. It's just based on operation. Look at that. That's how it all should be. Every train should operate like this. They nailed this one, operational wise. Beautiful. It really can't be better. I can even slow it down slower than this and it'll still work great. Whereas this guy over here, I'm afraid you're just too darn loud, as one Back to the Future extra once said. Also known as Jerry Lewis. Or not Jerry Lewis. Yeah, I thought these Athearns were supposed to be known for their slow speed crawls. I thought that was their like strong point. But you can tell it's really struggling here. And it stopped. Yeah, ain't gonna get a lot of points in that slow crawl test. It's like, there it goes. Yeah, I expected better. Kato is better. The Big Boy can do this. No problem. Alright, well, I'm gonna crank her up here a little bit more. Let's get some speed going. Just because we need a good action shot for the end. Big Boy. Woo. And the new guy. Which one's going faster? I can't even tell. Oh, the Big Boy is slightly. Slightly is the Big Boy. Or not. What's happening? They're like neck and neck. Alright, well, that was fun. Am I glad I got it? Absolutely. Right now for this price, I didn't get completely screwed over like the T1 Broadway Limited. That one was like almost $300. Oh, I nailed the... It just banged into this thing. I gotta fix that or move it or something, but... Anywho, I'm gonna let this guy fly away and continue its operation. Maybe we'll get quieter with age. I don't know. We'll find out. But for now, this has been fun.